Welcome to Candid Conversations, everyone. I'm Sandra Seapack. On today's program, we're going to talk about one of our favorite topics, food. We will take a closer look at healthy, nutritious eating tips for you and your family with some simple choices you can make to help everyone achieve a healthier lifestyle. Getting your family to eat right can be tricky, especially kids and seniors. But for many of us, convenience is also a priority, which is why fast food often wins out. Taking small steps in meal planning can lead to big changes in a healthy diet. With that, we are going to show you how you can begin making some smarter food choices to develop healthier eating habits the whole family will enjoy. Our guests today are Gari Brienda Ramnath, a health, nutrition, and wellness expert, and also Dorothy Bernay, a registered dietitian and nutritionist, who will talk about food, nutrition, and getting everyone on the right track to healthier eating. Right now, though, I want to turn it to my two co-hosts, Becky Lantry and Dina Diamond.
Hello,
Our
ladies.
focus today is food.
Yeah, thank God. It's about time. It's all about food. This show is terrific because I'm all about eating well, nutrition, and fitness. When I was in school, I was a very big girl. I mean, I was huge.
I can't believe it.
I can't even
I'm
imagine
sorry.
that.
Hello, my friend named my rear end Bob for big old butt. And I couldn't get mad at him because I used to refer to myself as the twins.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so I finally pulled my life together and I lost 70 pounds.
That's an incredible task. That's really good.
It was hard. It took me 6 months. And
Was it eating and exercise?
Yeah.
It was
How'd you do
eating and exercise, making sure that I ate balanced meals, and I've been able to keep it off now for 20 years.
Very good.
But every day is a struggle because as I get older, my body changes, my needs change. But I learned if you want to be an adult, you have to eat like an adult to make it to that stage in life. And as we all know, the most important thing is making sure we fit in our jeans. No, I'm kidding. It's good
important.
health. It's good health. It's good health.
No, it's important. What do you feel about, some good food, healthy food?
I love good, healthy food, but I'm not always able to eat it. Simply because there are times when I'll come into the house and it's late. I'm not eating after 8 o'clock. It's just not happening. I might have a piece of fruit. That means that the whole thing is out of balance. And if you don't take in enough calories, you can't burn them. So it's
Right.
So true. It's all about balance, and if we have to set ourselves up for success. I think if we take time and plan our week, we'll end up, if you think about it, I can't sit down and write a menu and make a grocery list and plan out what I'm going to make for the week. But if you spend an hour doing that, you're going to be saving yourself hours during the week contemplating in front of the fridge.
And the money, too.
Exactly.
Right.
Nothing goes
Which is
to
a big
waste.
thing for many people today. So the planning that you put in, as you're mentioning, for an hour can really save not only you time, but money later on through the week.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
And, it can make a difference. And you'll be eating healthier, too. You won't be eating so much fast food all the time, which I think really isn't good enough. For kids, that's not a good thing.
It's a cop-out. Because
right.
there's nothing fast about
Right.
fast food. You have to get in your car. You have to go somewhere. So there's really yes, it's cheap, but it's not, we're worth more.
not cheap, Dina.
Yeah, there's sometimes you go out, it isn't cheap. She's right. Yeah. It's true.
But we shouldn't take advantage of our body. This is the only body we have. So we have to make sure we give it the proper fuel every day.
Absolutely.
And lead by example.
Well, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back with our first guest, Gari Brienda Ramnath, so stay with us.
I thought I was all thumbs. Turns out they're green.
It feels good to focus on others.
My tax preparation skills are appreciated, and I don't have to wear a tie.
Nothing beats a great hand except lending one. Be a wise volunteer. Support seniors in maintaining balanced lives. Visit wiseandhealthyaging.org or call 310-394-9871.
I thought I had everything under control. Then, one day, something happened. I didn't know how to stop it. I didn't know there was help. Until someone told me.
Providing access to justice, the Legal Aid Foundation of Los Angeles can help with domestic violence issues, eviction defense, government benefits, immigration, and other civil legal issues.
Welcome back, everyone. Our first guest today is Gauri Brienda Ramnath, a health, nutrition, and wellness expert. Ms. Ramnath has more than 10 years' experience in the field of nutrition as a health educator. She will share her expertise on selecting wholesome food choices for meals that can help develop healthy eating habits for all of us. Hi, Gauri, and welcome to Candid Conversations.
Well, thank you. Love
you know,
being here.
we were talking about our own experiences in getting off the fast food track and how we can avoid doing that and getting everybody to eat healthier. So how do we start doing that? What is the best choice?
Now this is a very important question, right? Well, I have a few tips for you, but I would say number one, have your snacks, your healthy snacks ready everywhere. We need to be armored up. I mean, this is serious, like full on, okay?
Right.
So what does that mean? It means that you take a look at your day, your daily routine, and when and what times of the day that you tend to be hungry, and again, that would include your friends and family, your children, and just have these items accessible. So that means in the glove compartment of your car, you have a little Ziploc bag, put in that trail mix, have it there. Dry little edamame snacks, seaweed snacks. Accessibility is very important. Have it in your purse. Have a little to-go bar, a little energy meal bar in your bag. That's really what will help a lot, is those healthy snacks everywhere. The second thing that's important is to make sure that when you are consuming or when you're cooking, you cook in batches, in large varieties, so that whatever you're making, you plan ahead. So that means the weekend before, so hopefully on a Sunday evening, you're preparing your meals for the entire week, so that it eliminates that idea of last minute choices, and then it teaches you, it's a training system, that okay, Sunday evening I sit down and figure out Monday to Friday what my family is eating, what my kids are eating, and I plan ahead where I'm cooking that Sunday evening. So an example would be like a veggie chili or a turkey chili, and you can grab a variety of different legumes and vegetables, organic, put them all in a pot, simmer it up, and then you can actually freeze these items as well.
Good.
Those are great tips. But everybody eats differently.
Yes.
And as women are getting older, what should we personally be doing for women?
For women specifically. So as we know, time is a commodity, energy is a commodity. These are two highly important things. And I would say that the trends that we're seeing for women a lot is making sure that you're getting your omega-3s in. Your healthy fats are very important. Your iron is very important. Probiotics, another really important supplement for women. And hydration, this is key. And of course, so going back to omegas, you know, you can get that from salmon, from nuts, from certain oils. But this idea of hydration has been a focus, because oftentimes we forget that our skin is actually an organ, and that dehydration, migraines, headaches, insomnia, a lot of times is from that lack of hydration. So coconut water is great. Potassium-based drinks are really important. And of course, energy drinks, but hopefully ones that don't have a high level of sugar.
Wow. Okay. How do you do nutrition for children, though?
How do we go about that?
Yeah, because my grandchildren are seaweed and miso soup people. You know, when it comes to green, the boy will pick peas apart. The girl won't. Yeah. But the girl will take the lettuce and lick it, you know, because she'll lick the dressing off first and then eat it. But, you know, basically, their basic meal, they could eat seaweed all day.
And they've grown to have a palate like that, right? So would you say that, Becky, in the house, in the home, it's the way that you have been rearing them, right, your daughter and you, in terms of introducing these varieties young and having them build that palate and going toward a snack like that instead of a candy bar.
Right.
Correct?
Right.
And I would say with children, it's really important to make it interactive. You've got to make it fun and make it an activity that everyone can get involved with, and cute things like eating from the rainbow. I love this. It's very simple. Rainbow colors. So when you're in the when you're shopping with them, have them go pick out those things. Have them say, hey, Mom, you know what? I want to go for the apple, the bell pepper, or, you know, remember, we need to pick from the rainbow, the blueberries, and the colors that are antioxidant rich is very important. Also, making it an activity that they can get their hands involved with. One thing I love is this idea of the caterpillar log, like slicing celery up, filling it with peanut butter or an almond butter, and then having them put little raisins on top, you know, to make it look like the lantanas and the feet.
That's really creative.
Yes, and skewers are really great for children. Having toothpicks with like a caprese, which is like little tiny mozzarella, a baby cherry tomato, throw in a piece of basil. Anything they can thread on,
Right.
anything they can get their hands into and then discuss it or turn it into an animal or a figure of some sort, that's what's going to engage them and have them have that memory, that muscle memory.
Yeah, and I think that's really important to involve kids in meal preparation. Even in shopping, I think you can take your kids to the store and start teaching them what foods to look for and what foods they're going to be making. And I think in meal prep for being at home, getting them involved in making something, how can we do that? How can we all achieve that better?
Okay, wonderful. Who here does not love pizza?
I do.
Everyone.
love
You like pizza, Dina?
yes.
Becky,
Yes.
you can love pizza?
Yes.
Okay, so, and I know personally that your grandchildren love the pizza, right? And
Love
the idea.
pizza.
And it's a comfort food. And what's so great now is we have so many different varieties. We've got gluten-free crust, we've got spelt crust. I mean, you've got the variety of different options for everyone. And the pizza somehow, it does draw the family together. So what's great about it is you could go to a farmer's market or just a local grocery store. Obviously, if you want, you can go organic. Have each one of them be responsible for a particular ingredient that they love. So you can have someone, say, I don't know, grandma's in charge of slicing, I don't know, the mushroom. And the young ones can maybe slice up the bell pepper, or the onion, or the salami, or a sausage pepperoni. However they want, lay it all out and make it a fun interactive experience on Sunday nights. Hey, homemade pizza night. You know, eating from the rainbow pizza, however you want. And you lay out all the colors on there and then you bake it in the oven. And it also is the idea of routine, and that every Sunday night we pick a cool recipe like a veggie chili or a pizza or crepes, and we do this together, and each one of us has our part we play. And then it just makes everyone feel like they are contributing, that interaction is engaged, and then just like exercise, it becomes routine. And you'll see it as a regular option every evening.
That's great, because what you're saying is you're getting everyone involved, because eating, we eat with all five senses.
Yes.
And that's so important when you're getting them involved with the preparation or even growing. Keep getting kids involved in a garden. What do you think about that?
Great question, Dina. So garden. I am a huge fan of gardens. I think we can all here have our first experience. I don't know, that was whether through grandma. I know mine was my grandma, my Grammy. And the experience of actually taking a seed, how exciting it is for kids. Take the seed, plant, oh my God, this thing is growing out. It's very exciting. And the idea that the relationship between the food item in the hand and the earth. This is extremely important, not just for children, but for us as adults. My grand aunt, she has an amazing farm, and she plants her own fruits and vegetables, and that gave me the first hands and interest in that. And then chopping the vegetable, understanding that you are what you eat. I'm consuming this, and I'm seeing that it came from the earth, and that relationship, you know, is something that makes children very attuned and makes them sensitive to environmental issues as they grow up. And I think that's really important in the holistic approach of living.
See, with
The mind-body health.
Mind-body interaction and that connection between us and the earth. And it does start with the little ones. You know, it starts with their relationship. And them going to school and going, do you guys know where this pea pod comes from? Do you know my auntie or my mom? We make this at home, and there's a pride that builds. And they get excited about it, and then they want to consume it. It always has to be fun.
And then they learn that everything's not prepackaged, and everything isn't on that shelf in a box. You can find things that are really homegrown and that are good for you.
And then, like Becky, as you said, your grandchildren, you said the seaweed or even the relationship to natural food. More is that they go to the backyard and you can say, hey, you know, we're making spaghetti sauce tonight, or you know what, we're going to make fajitas tonight. Can you go to the backyard, baby, and pick up some green peppers for me, Andre? It's cool. They get to go grab it, bring it in a little basket. They're excited. They're participating. And then there isn't that divide between, oh, we go to the grocery store, everything's prepackaged or over-manufactured, and all the added ingredients, you know, they're seeing it home, farm to table. And farm to table is a really huge concept here, especially in Santa Monica, but for all of us, that we're looking at food as a preventative measure now.
Well, see, I have my grandkids with tomato plants, and we're growing the bell peppers, and we're growing the basil. So they actually know, and they see the blossom come out on the tomato plant. It's going to be a tomato there, Nana. Yes, there will.
There will
good.
be one,
No,
right?
that's important. And it's important to teach kids that at an early age.
Yes.
So that they learn what they're putting in their bodies does make a difference. And you can teach them by saying, this is going to help you have more energy so you can go out and ride your bike. You know, if you speak in those terms, they get it. They understand.
Yes. And of course, as we know, I mean, this is the honest truth. Sometimes we do have to camouflage the fruits and vegetables, right? So this is a very big thing. So it's like you said, you know, your granddaughter, she'll lick the dressing off and be like, you know. But one idea is like macaroni and cheese. Kids love it. Now we have the brown rice option, we have the gluten-free options, you know, and just adding some diced spinach to it, adding broccoli to it, mixing it all in. You know, there's a way, oh, did you find your trees inside your macaroni, the little broccoli florets?
That's a
There's
great
ways
idea.
to make it storytelling, or you can say, you know, we're gonna create a story from this bowl of mac and cheese, you know? It's like over the hill and through the woods, however you want to say it. They drop in their little veggies and it's an experience, it's a journey.
Absolutely.
And that is what food can be. It's a very colorful and creative display of love.
It is.
And each one of us can go about it our own way.
Well, thank you, Gari. I am so happy to hear about all these ideas. I think we can all incorporate them.
They're fantastic.
All
Thank
these
you so
healthier
much.
food choices we
Thank
can
you.
all benefit from. So we're going to be right back after a brief message with our guest, registered dietitian Dorothy Burnett. Thank you. Stay with us.
Even if a signal indicates it's safe to walk, it's never safe unless drivers see you. Last year, 113 pedestrians were injured in Santa Monica. You don't have to go to extremes to get a driver's attention. It just takes a little eye contact. Take the right steps to be safe. Watch the road.
Who do you think you are?
I'm Mommy. You eat this. I'm Mommy. We have so much to do today, Joanne.
Don't you think you should pay more attention to the road?
No, because I'm Mommy.
What could possibly be so important that it's worth your life? The Santa Monica Fire Department wants you to keep the road safer. Don't text and drive. Put it down.
Welcome back. Making a commitment to good, healthy eating is important for all of us. Sticking to those wholesome food choices, though, isn't always easy. We skip meals, eat fast food, love the snacks, and may not always exercise enough, too. Our next guest, though, is going to motivate you to change all that. Dorothy Burnett is a registered dietitian, medical nutrition therapist, and certified trainer with her own counseling practice here in Santa Monica. She has a passion for healthy eating, wellness, and disease prevention, and she created the popular website, healthyforlifenutrition.com. And she's with us today. Welcome, Dorothy. We're so happy that you're joining us today.
Thank you so much for
We're
coming.
going to talk a little bit about physical activity. We talked a little bit about healthy eating previously, and now we're going to focus on physical activity. You know, the Heart Association recommends 10,000 steps per day to stay in shape. How do you feel about that?
Well, that's just for general good health. Keep our heart and our lungs healthy.
Okay.
For weight loss, it's another story. You have to get many more steps than that. And the way that our lifestyles are set up today is to be more sedentary.
Right.
We have remote controls. We have computer screens we sit in. Many of our jobs are very sedentary. We're sitting here right now talking on our butts. So we really need to make a point to get up and have a lot of movement to get those steps in.
What do you recommend for somebody who is just starting off, hasn't exercised a day in their life? How should they start?
I recommend they get a pedometer. There's so many different kinds out there. It doesn't have to be an expensive one, but just something to see how much they're moving. Oftentimes when I'm with a client, they feel like they get a lot of activity, but they don't get the results they're looking for. So I say, well, why don't you get a pedometer, put it on first thing in the morning, check it at lunchtime, because if you know that your initial goal is that 10,000 and you're only at 2,000 at lunchtime, you've got to get moving. So it's a surprise to them when they see, wow, my whole day I only went 7,000 steps. This doesn't even cut it for my heart and lung health, never mind wanting to lose weight, getting in better shape. But that's a great first step. So once they get their starting point, I recommend that they will add 500 steps per day until they get to that 10,000. And once you're there, you just don't go to bed until you hit it.
Now, if 10,000 is only the beginning, what do we really need to start losing weight?
I would say about 15,000 a day.
About 15,000?
And you know, it depends too how fast you're moving. if you walk fast or you have a jog or the faster you move, the more calories you burn. So that makes a difference. It all adds
So
up.
should we just add more walking or more physical exercise, such as yoga, even, which would be good to do for some people? What do you recommend?
I recommend finding an activity that you enjoy, because then you'll want to do it.
Okay.
And if you can enlist a friend to come with you, or a coworker, your spouse, then you've got a fighting chance to say, oh, I'm meeting someone at the gym, or I'm going on a hike with my girlfriend Saturday morning. You'll look forward to it, and you'll do it.
Okay.
So, but yoga is terrific too, because
It
I
is.
feel like, especially in this city, in most big cities, we're all so stressed out. We're all running around, we're working so hard. So if we can just slow down a bit, bring it down a notch.
Absolutely.
That is so fantastic. And there are a lot of health benefits that they're researching now.
Good.
Now,
About
is
yoga.
walking like one of the best ways?
Well, walking, most of us are able to walk.
Right.
So it's easy.
Okay.
It's easy. And I say to people, if you don't have a dog, borrow your neighbor's dog. Just get out there, rain or shine, no excuses. But it is good too to switch it up.
Okay.
Go dancing, take a Zumba class, go rollerblading at the beach, hiking. I mean, we're so lucky in Southern California with our weather, get on a bicycle, go bowling, do whatever, there's so much out there.
But it shouldn't just be about cardio. Should it also be about weight training?
Weight training is important. And the more muscle you have, again, the more calories you're going to burn.
Okay.
So for most of us, doing weight training 2 times a week is adequate. And as we get older, we lose our muscle stores. So it is important to keep those up. And it helps too as we age with our stability and keeping your core strong so that you don't trip on a step or a sidewalk and fall and break a hip.
Absolutely.
So.
But in keeping with physical activity, it is important to eat well too.
Absolutely.
And eat in accordance to the exercise activity that you do, because of course you're going to burn more calories, you're going to need more stability when you're exercising. So can you go into maybe talking about a little bit more about some of the healthy foods you would recommend, or say organic type foods, or what would you say?
Well, I recommend when you can get organic foods, that's the way to go.
Okay.
We don't want to be eating foods that have pesticides and things, but I also recommend just eating as cleanly as possible.
Okay.
Choosing whole foods, whole grains, fruits, vegetables, legumes, nuts and seeds. Animal foods provide a lot of protein, but there's a lot of research now showing that eating more plant-based is the way to go. So not that everyone has to run out and say, okay, no more meat, I'm now a vegan. That would be so extreme. But just maybe incorporating 1 or 2 meals a week that are vegan, bean burritos, pasta primavera, little things like that, salads. There's a lot of ways to just slowly add more to your diet.
Okay.
That's really amazing, because when my daughter was 12, she's now 35. When she was 12, I decided I wasn't going to eat any more red meat, just from reading an article about how the body did not actually pass the red meat. And I said, that's it, no more. And I can remember that for the first month she cried. She's like, I want a steak. And I was going, we're not having that anymore, no more steak for you, right?
But I think that's a good point to bring up, that if you do things gradually, and especially with kids, if you introduce things gradually and you don't just shove it on their plate and make everything change immediately, I think there can be a gradual progression towards eating, like that. I think that makes perfect sense.
By the time she got to college, she wouldn't eat anything red.
Right.
My mother thought something was wrong with her. She says, I cooked a roast and she won't touch it. I said, Mom, she doesn't eat red meat. I said, if you get her some chicken, she'll be fine. Trust me, But to this day, all she eats is chicken and fish. That's it.
But Dorothy,
She's healthy.
When we're having different foods and as we get older, our body changes every day. Some days we don't feel good. Some days we have all the energy in the world. We have to learn how to eat for what our body needs. How can we read that in ourselves?
Well, that's a great question because I think a lot of people ignore the signals that their body does give them. I have so many people who say, I'm never hungry or I'm never full. They've ignored the signals so long because, well, you know, our jobs, if you have a 9-to-5 job and your boss says you have to have lunch at 12, you have to, whether you're hungry or not, you have to do this. So the way I work with people, it is really to pay attention. And it takes some people quite a while to get it. But if we're really mindful when we're eating, if we really pay attention to everything we're putting in our mouths, we're not distracted by a TV or we're driving in our car eating. If we're really paying attention, eating slowly, really tasting our food, you'll find that you need less food than you probably actually eat. And I've had a number of people say, you know, I eat so quickly that sometimes I look down and I think someone's taken the other half of my sandwich away.
I think it every time.
Yeah. I said, what happened? But we get distracted or we just gobble it down and we're not really tasting it. And we're not listening to our body giving us those signals that you've had enough now.
Wow. There are times though when I'll come in because I have quite a full day, even though I work part-time. I'll find myself coming from a meeting like last night. I came in from a meeting at like 9:30. I won't eat after 8 o'clock. So I had an apple and that was it. And but I know that's not a balance.
Right.
It can't be.
Right. It would have been great if you had balanced that with a little almond butter or a handful of almonds or some little protein to sort of balance that out a bit for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll remember
that. It doesn't take much.
Yeah, the almonds I had, I didn't think of putting them with the apple, but
and it doesn't have to be a bowl full.
No.
You know, it's just a little handful.
And I think it's important to follow, you know, there's so many rules now, and just to follow your own body and what you need. I think what you're saying about that really makes perfect sense. There's so many different things that you can do now. Eating certainly late at night is something you do try to avoid. Exercising more, as we mentioned. These are all things that can benefit everybody, and even our kids too. I think our kids will learn a lot from what we show them as an example. Absolutely, absolutely. Well, I really want to thank you for being our guest today, and I also want to thank Gary Brianda Ramnath and also Dorothy Burnett for being on our program and sharing their advice on healthy eating for you and your family. With the trend toward living well and staying fit, eating a balanced, nutritious diet is vital to your continued good health. We encourage you to make wholesome meal choices that will keep you on the right track to boost your health. Get the whole family involved and motivated too. Start making small changes today or next week, but just start. You'll be healthier for it. On behalf of my co-hosts Becky Lantry and Dina Diamond, I'm Sandra Seapack. Thank you all for being with us today on Candid Conversations.